And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we will be discussing how the members of the Wall Street Bets Reddit community was able to beat the major institutional investors and hedge funds and basically force them to cover their GameStop stock shorts. And it's a beautiful thing to actually see, in my personal opinion. But you have those in the financial media and also in the institutional investing community coming out and somehow trying to spin this as if this is market manipulation and that this is bad and that regulators need to step in and halt trading and investigate the Reddit thread in the community for Wall Street Bets. And what I find funny and ironic and odd about this is that when the Federal Reserve prints money out of thin air, injects liquidity into the stock market via the repo market, or when they go and buy corporate bonds and corporate debt and bail out zombie companies, somehow that's monetary policy. But this company or these funds getting together and having a 140% short interest in the GameStop stock, that's somehow not stupid on their part. And the quote unquote retail investors that make up the Wall Street Bets community, they were able to see that there was an outsized short position in the GameStop stock, and they took advantage of that. That's not market manipulation. That's just the way that markets work. Because see, what you have to understand is technology is the greatest equalizer. You and I right now at our fingertips, we have information readily available, the same information that these institutions have. So when people were able to see, wait, hold on, there's more short interest in the stock than actual shares outstanding, then people realize that we can force a major short squeeze. That's not market manipulation. That's the retail investor being savvy and being smart and actually beating the institutional investor. And that's one of the most beautiful things. Now, what we're starting to see here is because the quote unquote elite, the institutional investors, they took an L. What they're trying to do now is they're trying to work with regulators and work with the exchange to make the game harder going forward. And this ties into decentralization in crypto. And I keep emphasizing this to you that Bitcoin is just the tip of the iceberg. Crypto is much larger and it has so much more potential than just being a store of value with Bitcoin, because this is where decentralized exchanges come into play. Because TD Ameritrade, they halted trading in AMC and GME stock because it's a centralized company. So therefore, because it's centralized, there's a central point of failure and there's also a central point of control. Also, the Robinhood app was down for an extended period of time. But in crypto, we have decentralized exchanges that trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days throughout the year. No one owns Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange. No one controls Uniswap. There is no central point of failure. It's censorship resistant and it's borderless and it has 100% uptime. You are literally interacting directly with a smart contract in a peer-to-peer way. So you can't censor it. You can't shut it down, even if you wanted to. And that's one of the most powerful things about crypto. And as I said before, going forward, the future is either going to be a decentralized future or a centralized future. And this is where the Web 2.0 versus the Web 3.0 comes into play. Because if you look at the architecture of the way the internet is structured right now, and you look at the fact that these corporations, they have so much power, decentralization allows you, the end user, to actually take back that power. And then the fact that you can transact in a pseudo anonymous way because you have a public address, but they can't figure out who is behind that address if you take the proper precautions. You don't have to worry about now the SEC getting involved and somehow trying to come after your thread or your posts within the thread. So I think that we need to have a nuanced and detailed conversation, because going forward, we can start to see where we can go with this technology and why the Web 3.0 is so powerful. Because see, when Bill Ackman comes out back last March right around the time when the whole pandemic, the pandemic fully took effect. And he goes on CNBC and he says, hell is coming. Now, mind you, before he went on CNBC, he already took out a $27 million or $26 million short position on the market. And then he talks about hell is coming and he makes $2.6 billion. That's not market manipulation. That's quote unquote savvy investing. So we can see the hypocrisy there, and we can see that we do have power. The same way that the financial elite, they can get together and collude with the media and with these commercial banks and the Federal Reserve, we can collude together as well and take back this power. So technology is going to be a huge driver going forward. And I really just think that this is a good conversation that we should have and cover it from a different aspect in terms of just eating the rich. Yes, we want to eat the rich, but we also need to understand how we can continue this going forward and to protect ourselves. So please do me a favor as you come into the live stream and like the video, share the video, subscribe. Make sure that you hit the notification bell and you set it to all so that you can receive all of my notifications whenever I go live or I upload a video. Also, please join my mailing list below because YouTube doesn't like to send out my notifications when I go live and I talk about topics like this. They like to suppress things because YouTube is centralized. So keep that in mind. Also, follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM if you want to dialogue. And if you are interested in learning about the power of crypto and blockchain technology, I created my Tech Academy. We currently have a free 7-day trial. You are welcome to come test it out and see if you like it. I also opened back up the lifetime memberships. As you can see right up here, simply click this top banner and you can become a lifetime member with my Tech Academy. I just released the first part of the DeFi course inside of my Tech Academy. The way that this course will be structured is every single week, we're going to cover a different aspect about decentralized finance. So right now, we're focused on how you can earn passive income with different protocols such as Aave, etc. And then we're going to get into some more advanced stuff such as using synthetics and derivatives. We're going to cover liquidity mining and being a liquidity provider and yield farming. So again, we're going to do this on a week by week basis. We still have the coding bootcamp going on, but I'm redoing the coding bootcamp and I'm going to turn it into a web development course going forward. And that should be available around, let's say, mid-February, the new version of that particular course. Also, if you want to discuss business with me or you want to book a consultation with me, you can come right here to my website and do so. And if you can see me and hear me clearly, type 1. Let me take a look at the chat and see what's going on. So everyone can hear me and see me clearly. I saw a few donations come through. Thank you, Money Over Fame. Iceman Vamp says, it's bad when the president of the NASDAQ is asking for regulations on Wall Street. What you have to understand, thank you for that donation, is that regulations are not put there to protect both you and I. These regulations are put in place to keep us out of the market, to make the barrier of entry so much more difficult. That's what these regulations are designed to do. John D. Rockefeller said it, that competition is a sin. They do not pass these regulations because they want to protect the little guy. They pass these regulations to insulate themselves and protect themselves. Prime example right now with them halting trading in GME stock and in AMC, or Robinhood going down, because of too much traffic. Those circuit breakers are designed to protect the big boys. That's what it's all designed to. Basically, this is the casino. This is a racket, and we're all witnessing it. And it's just good to watch, the small guy, the retail investor, finally start to realize, I'm not going to play by your rules. I'm going to infiltrate your system, and I'm going to turn your system against you. That's very powerful once you understand that you do have power. And I want you to keep that in mind. Now, Alexander Wilson said they just banned Wall Street Bets on Discord. That AMC stock is ready to explode to the moon. This is why you need decentralization. This is why crypto is important, right? Because crypto can be everywhere and nowhere. There is no central point of failure. There is no central point of control. And when you understand that, you can understand that this is bigger than Bitcoin. I saw another donation come through. Thanks, AMC, for the donation. Laugh out loud. They did the same thing. I bought it way back or at $1.04. Thank you, Hustle. Appreciate it. decentralization. So let's get into the news. Let's get into the information. And then I'm going to show you how powerful Uniswap is, because many of you may not know this. So GameStop short sellers Melvin Capital and Citron surrender bearish bets after 700% rally drives huge losses. So after weeks of unrelenting gains in GameStop shares, Reddit traders seem to have beaten Wall Street. Melvin Capital and Citron Research closed their short positions on GameStop stock after the company's massive rally formed an extraordinary short squeeze. The former ate a huge loss when it ended its bearish bet on Tuesday afternoon, CNBC reported. The Citron managing partner Andrew Left said in a video on Wednesday that most of the firm's position was covered when GameStop traded at about $90 at a loss of 100%. Very, very, very key there. So they lost all of the money that they put in there and some. He added that he maintained a smaller position in the stock, will become more judicious when it comes to shorting stocks, Left said. Doesn't mean the industry is dead, but it just means you have to be more specific. GameStop shares have surged by more than 700% in January as a horde of retail investors bid up shares and cheered each other on in Reddit forums like WallStreetBets. The growing crowd of day traders identified Citron and Melvin Capital as their primary antagonists early in the rally, hoping to profit by forcing shorts to cover their bets. While other Reddit-fueled rallies died off in a matter of days, GameStop's climb has gained momentum. The stock leaped on Tuesday after the billionaire investor Chamath, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, tweeted that he had bought call options on the stock with a February 19 expiration date. Shares skyrocketed again when minutes after markets closed on Tuesday, Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeted GameStop and a link to the WallStreetBets forum. GameStop's new crowd of bulls got their first taste of blood on Monday when the Wall Street Journal reported that Melvin Capital would receive a $2.75 billion investment from Citadel and .72 Asset Management, expected to buoy the short seller after its loss of nearly 30% through Friday. While the firm had bet against several other stocks, its GameStop short is believed to have driven the bulk of the losses. Now, I want you to think about this. You as a retail investor, when you get liquidated, no one steps in and bails you out. See, this is how rigged the game is. But yet now you have other institutional investors coming in to bail them out. Think about this. They miscalculated. They had 140% short interest in the actual GME stock. And us, the retail investors, we were able to see that and force them into a short squeeze. That's not market manipulation. That's timing the market. As I said earlier, when the Federal Reserve injects liquidity into the market, that's not market manipulation. When the Fed goes out and buys corporate bonds, that's not market manipulation. That's considered monetary policy. And I'm being sarcastic here. Think about this. When the Fed manipulates the price of money, when the Fed slashes interest rates, when the Fed picks winners and losers, that's okay. When the Fed debases your currency and says inflation's too low, that's okay. You know, it's laughable that to watch these, quote unquote, institutional investors, the best, the brightest in the world, somehow get beat at their own game. And now they want to cry foul. And now watching people on, the financial media within CNBC, and they're talking about somehow the SEC needs to step in. Really? Because I want to highlight something for you. So here we have Bill Ackman, right? This interview was back on March 27th, 2020, right before the news hit about the pandemic. Mind you, before he goes out here and goes on CNBC and talks about hell is coming, he takes out a $26 million short position on the market. So we're going to play just about 15, 20 seconds of this interview, and then I'm going to read to you how much money he was able to make by manipulating the market. See, when Wall Street does it, it's okay. It's just, that's business as usual. So I love what's happening with Wall Street Bets, and it sucks that they had to get removed from Discord. But hold on, let's listen to what Bill Ackman had to say.
Hell is coming, okay? And hell is coming, okay? And I felt, it's really, I've never had this experience before in my life. The closest I had was the financial crisis, where I'm saying, things are coming, bad stuff's coming. But this was a feeling like I've never had. Like there's a tsunami coming, right? The tsunami's coming and you feel it in the air.
All right, that was Bill Ackman speaking with Scott Wapner on CNBC back on March 18th. That appearance, as you may remember, has stoked a lot of controversy after it was revealed Square netted a $2.6 billion gain from a bet against the equity markets. Lots of stuff that was out there. In fact, yesterday I took a swipe at them too, after reading a lot of the stuff that had come out in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Post. In a letter released last night, Ackman describes what happened. I spent a lot of time on the phone with him yesterday, too. He said back at the end of February, he bought credit default swaps because he was convinced that bad things were coming. He had been watching the coronavirus very carefully, how it had played out in China, and was convinced at that point, he said, that there was going to be having some sort of an economic shutdown that would have to come in Europe and the United States to stop the pandemic spread. He did put out a press release back on March 3rd describing.
So again, I want to highlight this because this is extremely problematic. That's market manipulation. He takes out a short position via credit default swaps prior to going on CNBC and saying hell is coming. That was premeditated. Is that not market manipulation? Now let's look at how much money Bill Ackman was able to make. Bill Ackman turned $27 million into $2.6 billion as the pandemic ravaged markets. Here are 12 of his most insightful quotes. So when he manipulates the market, it's okay. That's good investing. But when Melvin Capital takes out 140% short interest in GameStop and they get beat at their own game, somehow that's a problem. Thank you for the donation, Anthony Johnson. Seems like all there is left to do is find excuses and look for a scapegoat. ET Retail Investment, great stream, by the way. Did you read the Bloomberg article? We're going right here to Bloomberg right now. I'm glad you said that. It says Reddit-fueled traders trigger volatility halts across the market. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. So let's zoom in. Let's read this. It says about 44 circuit breaker halts were triggered in the first 2 hours of trading Wednesday amid rapid ascension of amateur investors armed with Robinhood in their favorite social media platform. Now, look at how this is the financial media. Look at how they're framing us, the retail investor. They're framing us as amateur investors armed with Robinhood, right? Really just trying to belittle us as if we don't know what we're doing. No, newsflash, Melvin Capital didn't know what they were doing. And the beautiful thing about it is that me here in my office, I can compete with the big boys because of technology. Technology is the greatest equalizer. I don't have to go to some fancy Ivy League school to do market analysis and market research. I don't have to have a Bloomberg terminal in order for me to do market research. And to dismiss the Wall Street Bets community as if they're just a bunch of degenerate gamblers is disingenuous, because there's good analysis inside of the actual thread and forum inside of Wall Street Bets. It's a combination of, yes, there are YOLO traders, but there's also people in there that are intelligent and smart as well. And we have to highlight both. But the media wants to try to spin it and create this narrative that somehow we don't know what we're doing. And it's just disgusting. It says, from cult favorite GameStop Corp to stereo headphone and loudspeaker retailer Costcorp, trading volume soared as gains and losses fluctuated by the minute. Day traders have taken to online forums like Reddit, posting bullish touts to encourage others to join an epic retail frenzy that has tested the mettle of short sellers. Reddit is also routinely used to drive up penny stocks that, unlike GameStop, have ceased publishing financial results and don't trade on regulated exchanges. Volatility halts are relatively common for small stocks that are surging or tumbling and are used by exchanges to help smooth rapid movement in either direction and prevent flash crashes. They are often done to force traders to digest the news and recalibrate their trades over the typical 5-minute pause. And then now we have Barron's putting this out. GameStop trading should be halted for 30 days, says state securities regulator. I want you to think about this for a second. And this is why I keep trying to say to you. Regulation is designed to hurt us. It's not designed to protect us. See, the lobbyists, the hedge fund titans, the institutional investors, they collude with regulators to create rules that make it harder for us to invest and for us to trade. Think about high frequency trading for a second here. And for those of you who do not know, high frequency trading is algorithmic trading, right? Where computers can make hundreds of thousands of trades within a blink of an eye. And what happens is these hedge funds, they have these bots that scan social media, that scan news sites and scans the World Wide Web for news or information. And what they're able to do, because the way that the stock market is supposed to operate, it's supposed to be first in, first out, FIFO. But what these high frequency traders can do, because they're co-located on a stock exchange, literally they're routed directly into the stock exchange. They can jump the queue and skip you based upon bullish sentiment in stocks. But that's not market manipulation. That's called providing liquidity. That's called being a liquidity provider. You have some high frequency trading firms that have not had a losing day. But yet the retail investor, 95% of retail investors lose their money. So I love to see the Wall Street Bets community using the market forces against them and creating a short squeeze. And for those of you who do not know what a short squeeze is, understand this. The way that a short squeeze works and operates is that if you're short a stock, whenever you decide to eventually get out, you have to cover, meaning you have to buy back into the market, right? So you buy shares, you sell them in the market at a higher price. And the goal is that you're speculating that the shares are going to go down in value. And then therefore you're going to be able to kick them out at a lower price and buy back in the market. So what happens is that as Wall Street Bets, as the community is pushing the stock up, once it got past $9, $10, $15, these institutional investors, they're in the hole. So now they essentially have to buy back in the market, and they're buying against themselves and pushing the price up against themselves, which is a beautiful thing to actually see. And I absolutely love it, 100%. So I want to read something from the actual Wall Street Bets forum. It says, just read a New York Times article saying the SEC is reviewing this sub and what is going on. SEC, please read. To the SEC retards in the sub, go F yourself. Why don't you start investigating why companies can shut down trading so their hedge fund buddies don't lose money? But when people lose money, it's completely okay. Eat a D. You just have to love this community, man. These guys are hilarious. The crypto guy says, when the Reddit community realizes BTC is the biggest FU to the system after these hedge funds get bailed out, rocket. Absolutely. And that's what we're going to get into right now. Because what I want to do is I want to show you the power of decentralization. And this is all ties back into Robinhood and TD Ameritrade. These are centralized entities, meaning that power can be centralized and therefore they can shut you out. It's a permissioned system. And I want to show you Uniswap, which is permissionless, which is decentralized. No halts, no central point of failure. So let me log into my MetaMask wallet real quick. And I just want to show you how easy and you can do this. All right, so I'm in my MetaMask wallet. So let's come over here to Uniswap. I just want to show you how easy it is to trade. I can come right over here and just launch this app. And I can swap from ETH, and let's just swap for some Link. And within a matter of seconds, I can do this, right? So I need to connect my wallet. Internet's going slow. Give me 1 second. So come here. Let's refresh this. And now let's connect my wallet. Connect my MetaMask. Oh, there we go. There we go. Connect. So my wallet's connected now. I can come here. Here we go. Let's select the token, and I want to go into link, just like this. And let's say I want to swap for 10 link. Swap. Confirm swap. Close. And now the transaction's pending. And just like that, I was able to swap from Ethereum straight into Chainlink in a decentralized way. No middleman, no one telling me what I can do. I can do this at 8:27 at night. I can do this at 5 o'clock in the morning. Literally at any time I want to get in and get out of a position, I can do so. And then I could take ownership of my asset. See, this is important because now my crypto is sitting in my wallet. Very powerful here. And if I want to, I can take my crypto from out of this wallet. And just like that, look, I was able to do that. And within a matter of a couple of minutes now, I have my asset sitting right here. And I can pull it up. Let's go here. My Ethereum balance went down. And look, I have $271 worth of link. Within a matter of seconds, I was able to do that. Connect to my wallet. And now I have my assets. This is decentralized. This is peer-to-peer. No one owns the Uniswap protocol. I'm dealing directly with a smart contract. No one can regulate me. No one can halt this. No one can stop this. Permissionless, borderless, censorship resistant. And if I want to get out of link, if I want to sell my link, I can convert my link right back into ETH if I want to. So when people say to you, well, what's the purpose of crypto? Why do I want to invest in Bitcoin? Crypto is bigger than Bitcoin. No KYC. Absolutely no know your customer. No AML. And again, I'm not putting Bitcoin down. I'm saying to you that Bitcoin is just the tip of the iceberg. We have decentralized derivatives, decentralized margin trading, decentralized insurance, decentralized real estate, decentralized exchanges at your fingertips. Keep this in mind. We're watching centralization fail. So when we see, them coming together and saying that GameStop should be halted, that could possibly happen. Now they're trying to remove and ban the WallStreetBets forum from Reddit. I'm assuming they're targeting them on Discord as well. And you have to keep this in mind when you are, doing this. Thank you, Kenny, for the donations. Just keep up the good content. I'll do my best. Right? So, crypto is a protest against the system. Crypto is the FU to the system. It's just a matter of decentralization versus centralization. That's it. Literally. So now let's read right here. I love the name of this title. It says, Bankrupting Institutional Investors for Dummies, featuring GameStop. Right? It says, introduction. When I look at the sentiment surrounding GameStop, it doesn't take very long to see comments like these. Yet, here we are. What's going on? Are people that stupid just jumping on a new console cycle? Idiots not pulling their gains and going to zero? And listen, someone else wrote this. This is not me reading like this. It's just I have to read it the way that it was written and posted. It says, thinks the stock is a dud. It must be, right? Nearly 120% short interest, yet the stock is up nearly 40% this week. It's no secret GameStop has been hurting. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because it just has bad grammar. I want to read the conclusion. So it says, just the fact GME got to the new console cycle must be making the shorts cry. Add on that they've been making serious progress towards online and mobile presence, aligning themselves with industry trends, operating in a growing market, potential monopoly in the untapped retro market, solid financials, beginning their new upward cyclic cycle. You have the makings of a powerful e-commerce storefront just leaning into their growth period. Even post-console hype, they should be able to leverage their branded credit card to retain a huge number of customers and bite off a huge market share off other retailers. Lastly, remember that despite the trend towards digital, it's in the gaming industry's best interest to keep GameStop going strong. The likelihood of additional revenue sharing agreements are fairly high. So this is basically people in the Wall Street Bets forum putting together a bullish case for the actual stock. So it's not like this is a bunch of retail investors that don't know what they're doing. They're looking at this and saying to themselves, number one, the short interest doesn't make any sense. And once you start pushing the stock up, they're going to be forced to have to cover. And again, it happened. And it's a beautiful thing to watch it and see it unfold. Someone just put in a donation. Money Cooking Recipe says, what do you think of investing in EOS? I would not touch EOS. EOS has been grossly hyped and it has underperformed. I would not touch EOS at all. When you think about smart contract platforms, right now, 95% of the development is happening on the Ethereum blockchain. So outside of Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, and maybe Tezos, and Avalanche last, I would not be looking at any of these other platforms for, dApps and decentralized applications. It's not going to happen at this point. Most of the developing and tooling is happening on Ethereum, and that's where the focus is at. You know me, I'm a huge bull in Polkadot. That's where my focus is, and as well as Ethereum. But again, wouldn't touch EOS. And after Dan left the project, which, many people predicted would happen, definitely wouldn't get involved in it. Mbless says, I noticed Coinbase is regulating how much crypto I can move from the exchange to an outside wallet. Well, this is where, again, look at Swan BTC, look at Coinbase, Binance, etc. BISC is a decentralized exchange to get fiat in. So there are other ways that you can get fiat into, crypto. So keep that in mind. And again, thank you for the donation. Now, what I find funny about this, and I shared this before about the Cantillon effect, right? Where basically those that sit the closest to the money printer, those that sit the closest to the Wall Street elite, they are the first to get to spend the inflation. And it's the same thing with information. Like when you think about it, Wall Street creates this, us against them mentality, in where you go to these, fancy schools, Ivy League schools, you go to a Harvard, a Yale, a Brown, and therefore you go and you work at these institutions. And because you have access to information, you have access to capital, it puts you at a competitive advantage compared to the retail investor, right? And again, as I said before, but technology now is the great equalizer. Technology is allowing us to be able to compete with the best and the brightest. As I said, right now, you and I can collude together and we can share research, we can share information instantly, information at our fingertips. So this is important because going forward, you have to start to see the system is rigged against us. It is. The system is rigged against the retail investor. And you have to make sure that you keep this in mind when you are investing and you are putting capital to work. And when you look at GameStop's market cap, I believe, is $24 billion. Yeah, right here. It's $24 billion. I want you to keep this in mind. So GameStop's market cap is $24 billion. The market cap for DeFi, meaning actual assets locked in DeFi, is $24.9 billion. So I want you to start thinking about how early we are with crypto. The stock market is a $100 trillion market cap asset class. Crypto is less than, follow me here, it just surpassed $1 trillion. It's less than $1 trillion now. Let's pull this up just to make sure that we're accurate. Want to make sure that we're accurate. Yeah, we're less than $1 trillion right now. We briefly surpassed $1 trillion a couple weeks ago. So just think about how early we are. one stock is worth more than a total amount of value locked into DeFi smart contracts. So just start thinking about where we can potentially go with this. And when people talk about gas fees for ETH, understand that you're paying a premium to be able to operate in an ecosystem that's censorship resistant, that's permissionless, that's borderless. You see how they're trying to censor Wall Street Bets? You can't do that with Uniswap because it's everywhere and it can be nowhere. Borderless. You don't need ID to use Uniswap. You don't have to live in America to use Uniswap. All you need is internet connection. As I said before, 24 hours a day it trades, 7 days a week, 365 days out the year. That's the power of crypto. That's the power that you have at your fingertips. This is the power of decentralization. Keep that in mind. We're extremely early. So when people say, well, what's the utility? Why do you need crypto? What can it do? What can you do with it? Why do you have to pay these high fees? So I can't be censored, so I can't be shut down, so I can't be stopped. This is very important. Thank you for the donation. Anthony Johnson says, genuinely appreciate the insight. Apologies for the last dono. Is there a point where traditional investors influence the brokers to the point where brokers limit this type of behavior? In terms of, so I kind of don't understand your question, so I'm going to answer two questions in one. What's going to happen with this, with Wall Street Bets, I'm telling you right now, is the institutional investors, because they have money, they're going to get lobbyists and they're going to bribe politicians to change the laws. And what's going to end up happening is that they're going to come hard after whoever the moderators are of the Wall Street Bets forum. This is why you need privacy. This is why you need cryptocurrency, because you need to be able to transact in a way where you can't be penalized for doing something. The powers that be are going to come down hard on that forum. I'm telling you right now, 100%, someone's going to be made an example of. They're going to make someone an example. Just keep that in mind. What I want you to understand, though, is that we do have power. Now, in terms of regular retail investors, you and I, we have no say, right? We're just here to get milked and schemed by the institutional investors. So we don't have any say. We're not going to be able to, they're not going to change any laws and regulations to protect us or help us out. It's just not going to happen. So you're going to see the big boys pass more rules and regulations to basically try to make this harder from happening again. What I want you to understand, though, is that we have power. You can use the system against itself. You can beat them. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you for the donation, Max Forsett. I have about 9,000 shares of Alp. I'm new to trading and sort of got lucky with the stock. Is it worth selling this to join NOK, GME, AMC, etc.? Again, I cannot give you financial advice, but I would tell you for educational purposes what I would do. If I'm deep in the money, I would take maybe 60% off, 50% off, and then I would split it amongst those three. This way I'll be properly, I'll be able to hedge myself properly. So I'll sell like 60% and then put, I'll go 20, 20, 20 in the other three stocks that you just named. That's a way that you can do it. What I've learned I've been investing and trading and doing this for, well over 7-8 years now in terms of actually really investing and trading the markets. What I will tell you personally is that you can never go broke taking profits. You can never go bust taking profits. If you got lucky and you do not know what you're doing, but you want to participate in this phenomenon, I'm not going to tell you to stop, because like someone posted in a Reddit thread, the Reddit forum can remain retarded longer than Melvin Capital can remain solvent. And I want to repeat that again. The Wall Street Bets forum, they're just absolutely hilarious. They said that they can remain retarded longer than the market can remain solvent. So you have to keep that in mind, that they can pump this to $1,000. They literally can pump this to $1,000. So I'm not going to tell you not to participate. And again, this isn't financial advice. What I will say to you is just be smart about it. Take some profit if you're up big and out. Put some money to the side, because at this point you're playing with the house's money. And if you want to gamble in that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with gambling. But understand, at this point you're gambling. You're not investing, right? Like if you're playing in Wall Street, if you're playing with the WallStreetBets crowd, and you're putting money into AMC and GME, you're speculating at that point, right? You're gambling. So just keep that in mind, right? But again, as I said before, you don't know who else may be short this stock besides just Melvin Capital, who else may have exposure. So you can easily see the shorts get squeezed much, much higher. Thank you for the donation, Mr. G. Eli, you have really set up something special. Appreciate your perspective. Proud. No problem, man. Thank you 100%. So make sure you keep that in mind. And also, you have a lot of Bitcoin maximalists. They're idiots. I'm just going to be honest with you. Most Bitcoin maxis are not smart. They aren't that bright. And what they love to say that somehow, that Vitalik can shut down Ethereum, or Jeff Bezos can shut Ethereum down because most dApps use AWS services. And what you don't understand is that these are protocols at the end of the day. These are technologies, right? These are not cryptocurrencies. And I hate the fact that so many people get this wrong. Because these are technologies, you can interact with the smart contract. Like when you're using Uniswap, how I just did that trade, you're interacting directly with the smart contract. So because you're interacting with a smart contract in a peer-to-peer way, you go to Etherscan even if the front end is down. So even if we come over here and the Uniswap website is down, I can come over to Etherscan, click on the actual contract, and come over here, and I can read and write directly to the smart contract. I don't have to go through the front end to actually interact with the smart contract. I could do it through Etherscan or through the command line. So, keep that in mind when you're listening to these Bitcoin maxis, right? Because these people, again, they want to sell you this worldview. Again, Bitcoin is designed to be digital gold, nothing more, nothing less. You can't do anything with it. You can't build on it. You can't create anything on top of it. That's it. You could probably do colored coins. That's about it. With Ethereum, because of the Turing complete programming language known as Solidity and the Ethereum virtual machine, you can actually build decentralized applications on it. And this ties into what's happening now, because if you can transact in a peer-to-peer fashion, you can remove middlemen, you can remove custodians, you can remove intermediaries like Robinhood, like TD Ameritrade, and you can transact in a peer-to-peer fashion. Very, very simple and very powerful. You have to understand that Web 3.0 is your liberation. Mr. G, the recycling guy, thank you for the donation. What securities laws are WallStreetBets mods breaking insider trading? And also thank you for the donation, Mr. World Free. Well, I'm assuming it's not that they're trying to say that basically they're colluding to manipulate the stock price, right? That therefore they're not making an investment based upon a prudent financial advice. They know that the stock is garbage, but they're manipulating it to get others to come in and push the price higher. So they're basically trying to take advantage, and they're trying to spread false information, basically trying to say like the fundamentals are good and they really aren't. Again, I don't believe that they're breaking any laws. I believe that at the end of the day, they were able to spot an inefficiency in the market. You had 140% short interest in this particular stock. This is not complicated here. You got a short squeeze. Very simple. And the big boys don't like it when you can take advantage of their inefficiencies. Because in order to work on Wall Street, right, you have to be this, smart guy that went to an Ivy League school. You have to be connected to, your family has to be connected. And now you and I, we can compete with them. And we can knock them out. We can knock them out the water because of technology. It's the great equalizer. So I don't believe that they violated any, securities laws, but someone will be made an example of, and I see that happening. That's just the reality. That the game isn't fair; it's rigged. So they're going to try to find someone to blame. This is why crypto is important. Thank you for the donation, Mr. G. Jim Cramer had to admit the retail investor has a place in the market. Channels like Eli are the infancy of the new revolution. 100%. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not saying it's collusion, Jay Gustavo. I'm not saying that it's collusion. I'm saying to you what they're trying to spin. I like what they did. I think it's ethical. I think it's fair. I think it's all a part of the game and market mechanics. If you find someone that's over leveraged in a particular asset, you squeeze them. Goldman Sachs believes in ripping each other's eyes out, right? Think about it. That's the market. Goldman Sachs will sell you something and then have another trading desk trade against you. We know that a lot of exchanges take the other side of your trade because 95% of day traders lose money. So I'm not saying that anything that WallStreetBets did is criminal in any way. I like it, but I understand that the powers that be will try to fight back. Rocket launch news: the AMC stock will be moonwalking or walking on the moon very soon. I believe it. This is why I was saying to you that if you want to play in that casino, make sure that you are understanding what you're playing with. Right? Understand the market dynamics. Be very, very, prudent and smart about what you're doing. Brian Thomas says, "Hey Eli, thank you for sharing your knowledge and wealth building. What are your thoughts on Stellar XLM?" I believe that Stellar is going to suffer the same fate as Ripple. I'm not a fan of Stellar's technology at all, but I would say that it's better than Ripple. But I personally do not invest in it. I think that they're in the same category as Ripple. I believe that they're overselling and they're going to underdeliver in a massive way. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't look at them as being what we envision crypto to be in terms of being decentralized, peer-to-peer, no central point of failure, no middlemen, permissionless, borderless, censorship resistant, immutable. I don't see that with that technology. I see more of a gimmick, and that's just my personal opinion. Mr. World Free says, thank you for the donation. I can't afford ETH or DOT. So does it make sense to buy Cardano? If so, why? Number one, you should not be focusing on the price of a cryptocurrency. I want to be clear here. You should be focused on market cap. You should be focused on the fundamentals. Just because Polkadot is $15 and Cardano's 31 cents, at the end of the day, if they both go up 100%, you're going to make the same return on your money, right? Think about it. If I put $100 into Cardano and I put $100 into Polkadot, if they both double in market cap, I just doubled my money, right? So you shouldn't be focusing on the actual price. You should be focusing on the technology and the actual market cap. So like, for example, I'm big on the Graph token. The Graph token is trading at like 47 cents right now. That doesn't mean that it's going to make you a lot of money just because it's cheap in dollar terms or in money terms. You have to think about in market cap. Like, for example, for Bitcoin to double, right? Bitcoin's worth $567 billion. For Bitcoin to double, you need another 567 to come in, right? So it's easier for Polkadot to double. You can make more money with Polkadot than you can with Bitcoin, because it only takes another 14 billion to double the price of Polkadot. So which one do you think is easier? It's easier to push the price of a smaller cap cryptocurrency than it is of a larger cap. So don't focus on the price. Focus more on market cap and actually the technology and what it can actually do. That's what I would be focusing on. And Bless, I know very little about trading, but what happened to have AMC shares before all of this? How long do you think AMC will be bullish? Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea about how long this can go for. Because as I said to you before, you're going to start to see the exchanges try to come in. You're going to start to see the SEC try to get involved in this and halt trading. So you don't know where this is going to go. And the last thing you want to do is be stuck in a stock halt for an extended period of time. If they do a 30-day halt, the last thing you want to do is be stuck in this for 30 days and not knowing what's going to happen. So again, if you're up a large amount of money, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes. I would take some profit. I would not hold this, and just like have everything invested. If I'm up 3, 4, 5x in my money, I'm taking some profit. You can never go broke taking profit. You can never go broke taking profit. That's my philosophy. So again, this can keep going for a very, very long time because you see Shamath getting involved now. Bert, thank you for the donation. Thank you, Eli. Researchable news we can use. Appreciate you. Salute to all here. It's a baby. Crypto to the wave. 100%. We're extremely early. We're extremely early. Now, back to Cardano, though, Mr. World Free. Cardano is making huge moves in Africa. And this ties back into China as well, right? Because we're going through this fourth industrial revolution that's going to be spearheaded by tech. What you have to understand with Cardano is that they're going after a real utility and need in Africa, right? Because Africa doesn't have adequate banking, nor do they have stable currencies in certain countries within the continent. So because they're making a huge inroad over there, they're going to have a competitive advantage over there. So from that standpoint, you can hedge yourself with going towards Cardano, because I do not believe that, only one smart contract platform is going to rule them all. I believe that you're going to have to integrate them because some of them have different trade-offs. So Cardano, in my personal opinion, follow me here, again, personal opinion, it would be a better investment from the standpoint of market cap and the potential to outperform Ethereum, because the market cap of Cardano is $10 billion, basically. The market cap of ETH is $143 billion. So it's easier for Cardano to double in price than it is for ETH. And you understand that Bitcoin is going to lift all tides. It's going to be the tide that lifts all boats, right? So keep that in mind. So me personally, if I had to choose between both ETH and Cardano, I would go with maybe like 80% of my money in Cardano and 20% in ETH just to hedge my bets. But Cardano will outperform ETH if the whole market goes up because it's only worth $10 billion. Natural born girl. Dude, I don't know if you realize how invaluable your teaching is. Can you say knowledgeable, intelligent, humble, straightforward? Keep up the great work, Eli. Yes, I 100% will do that. Thank you. I 100% appreciate it. So what else I want to cover? I want to get to Shamath, right? Because he said something very, very interesting. Do you have diamond hands? Yes. Stocks analysis. Yes, I have diamond hands.
Is this retail phenomenon is here to stay. There are 2.7 million people inside of WallStreetBets. I think that what it proves is this retail phenomenon is here to stay. There are 2.7 million people inside of WallStreetBets. I think that they are as important as any hedge fund or collection of hedge funds. And I think the most important thing is that in a world of zero interest rates and quantitative easing, I don't know how you can run a typical hedge fund strategy and make money anymore. Because, for example, when you looked at GameStop, a normal person would say, how can you have 136% short interest? How can you be short 40% more shares than actually exist in the world? To a normal person, that doesn't make any sense. But to a Wall Street mathematician, that's the game that has been played for years, and that game came undone.
Well, I mean, that may be that may be somewhat of an extreme example. Let me just go through a couple of things you said here. I have a hard time believing. I mean, you suggested that there's a good amount of fundamental research going on underneath the GameStop Reddit situation. Do you truly believe that there's actual fundamental research? Not to disparage in any way the people who are actually making these trades, but this seems to be momentum rather than a deep fundamental analysis.
Scott, there's momentum in traditional hedge funds and how they move stocks as well. But it's really disparaging if the starting position is these guys can't do the same quality of research as an analyst in a fund. That's just not true.
I didn't say that. I didn't say they can't do that kind of research. I'm questioning whether they're actually doing the research when it comes to.
And I just want to interrupt here real quick. They actually are doing the research because, again, here, although there are a lot of spelling errors in here and grammatical errors, they lay out a bull case for the stock, a great fundamental case as to why you want to own the stock. They lay it out right here. This is from 4 months ago. Bankrupting institutional investors for dummies, featuring GameStop. So to say that they're not doing fundamental analysis and research is bullshit. And it's insulting to think that because you went to an Ivy League school, or you are a professional fund manager, that somehow you're more knowledgeable about the markets than someone like myself or someone sitting here within the Wall Street Bets forum. It's just not true. And they don't like the fact that they do not have a control and a monopoly anymore as to what's actually going on. They don't. Because as I said before, when the Fed manipulates markets, it's called monetary policy. Many of these guys are not smarter than you. I promise you. They just have better connections because of the Cantillon effect. They sit close to the money printer. They sit close to the information. They sit close to the exchanges. They get inside information. That's all. They're not smarter than you or I. They rigged the system. And what's happening is the people in Wall Street Bets, they're using the system against them. And they don't like it. And this anchor right here, he's a part of the financial news media, the establishment. As I said before, when Bill Ackman takes out a $26 million short position before coming on CNBC, and the market tanks because he says hell is coming, and he makes $2 billion, that's fundamental research. That's greater than investing. Come on, man. That's a joke. The fundamentals are right here as to why the stock will do well. Now, should it be pumping to the levels that it's pumped? No, absolutely not. But this is the pump is happening because they had a 140% short interest. That's why the pump is happening. It's not because of market manipulation. It's because they had an obscene level of shorts in the actual short interest in the stock. And that's why it pumped. It's not because of Redditors. And then what happens is the algos kick in. So when they see a stock up 100%, the machines come on, the high frequency traders, and they keep pushing the asset up higher. That's what happens. It's not complicated. And I hope that they continue to keep doing this in other stocks like AMC, NOK, etc. Thank you, Mr. G says Chamath has been ahead of the curve. Mainstream media doesn't want to come to terms with the intelligence of the retail investor. Exactly. It's insulting. It's insulting to even say that. So let's finish listening to this.
The things like GameStop and AMC and some of these other things.
There's a distribution. And obviously at one end, there are fundamental analysts. But on the other end, there are momentum traders that follow trends. But by the way, the dirty little secret of Wall Street is that exists in hedge fund land. The reason why this GameStop trade has caused so much pain is because at the top of the pecking order was Melvin Capital. Those guys were incredible stock pickers. They are incredible fundamental modelers of companies. Okay, Gabe Plotkin is one of the sort of giants of our era, of my era, right? But at the end of the day, what happens is, irrespective of what he puts on, his trades are mimicked and copied by umpteen other hedge funds that follow along.
Mm-hmm. And I love what Chamath said there, because again, the same way that Redditors and the people from Wall Street Bets are following and piling in, you don't think institutions follow each other? Excuse me. You don't think that they follow each other? 100%. 100%. So I'm going to take a few questions right now, because that basically wraps up everything that I had to say about this. I think that it's great what's happening, and I think that it's good that they're finally getting what they deserve. So let's see what's going on here. Let's check what's going on. I'm 6'7". 450 Peen says, how tall are you? I'm 6'7". VeChain is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. For those of you who are interested in crypto, as I said before, I created my Tech Academy. We have a free 7-day trial. You are welcome to come test it out to see if you like it. We cover everything in terms of buying the crypto, storing the crypto, using the crypto. I cover what cryptos I'm involved in. We have a coding bootcamp going on. I'm in the process of redoing it. We're going to cover how to actually build cryptos using the Solidity programming language, build your own dApps. We have all of that going on. We also have a free 7-day trial, and we have our lifetime membership going on as well for the next, I think like 15 days. So you're welcome to come test it out and see what's going on. Inside of my Slack community, I cover different assets that I own. VeChain is one of the assets that I own, and I really like VeChain. I think it's a good cryptocurrency. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. But I have to just let you know that I do own it. No, I don't cover mining, real talk. In my personal opinion, mining is not for the retail or the average person. It's become industrialized now. In order for you to really compete in the mining space, you need ASICs, you need lots and lots of money. I just don't see how the average person can get involved. And that counts for Monero, that counts for Ethereum as well. Because I know that they use GPUs, they don't use ASICs. Again, it's very, very hard to get into the mining space and actually make money. The only way mining would make sense is that if you live in a place where you can get free electricity or very, very cheap energy, or you have like renewable energy. Outside of that, I just don't think it's feasible for the average person to do so. I think you'll just be better off buying your crypto. Edward William Sams, thank you for the donation. The best channel on YouTube for cryptocurrency and investing in general. Great content, always entertaining and excitement. Any thoughts regarding Zill? I like Zilliqa. I haven't really I've briefly dived into it. I think it's a decent project. I haven't really had a chance to. It's had a massive rally, a massive pump. I believe it was up like 1,000% or something crazy like that. Where is it at? I saw it up here somewhere. Was that Theta or was it Zilliqa that pumped crazy? We have Maker, we have Comp, FTTC. I think it may have been, what's the name? It might have been what's the name? Zill. Yeah, look, Zill is up 1,000%. Exactly. I saw it at an insane pump. I believe that a lot of people are involved in that project. So I'm not involved in it personally. So I can't really give you a lot of insight to it, but it's a solid project from what I've briefly covered so far. EOS, as I said earlier, I wouldn't touch EOS. EOS, to me, the chain is dead. There isn't a lot of activity happening on the chain. If you look at the amount of fees and activity just on chain, if you look at on-chain data with EOS, it's not a lot of activity happening. There aren't a lot of developers utilizing the actual architecture and software and building over there. So I wouldn't touch it. And after Dan left the project, as I predicted would happen, I wouldn't touch it at all. Right now, the pecking order for me, when it comes to smart contract platforms, you have Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, and then you can do a toss-up between Avalanche and Tezos, in my opinion. I personally believe that Polkadot's going to be a massive project, just based upon what they're trying to do and what they're trying to build in at the protocol level, rather than having to launch a second version like ETH is doing. So, but I wouldn't touch EOS at all. It's just a dead project. And if you go back and you follow what I've been saying, months ago, I was telling you that BSV, BNB, EOS, XLM, all of those projects, Bitcoin Cash, they did not belong in the top 10. I was telling you about Chainlink when it was $2. Chainlink is by far my favorite cryptocurrency. Chainlink and Polkadot. Biggest bags I have right now. Chainlink, Polkadot, and ETH. Because Chainlink is the God protocol. When you understand, and I say this all the time, blockchains, they're just a database. And they hold whatever data is happening within that protocol and network. But if you want to get outside data from the real world data into a smart contract and into the blockchain, you need Chainlink. So the only way that DeFi can ever get to the point of being, a true rival and competitor to centralized finance, you need Chainlink. That's it. Chainlink by far, because the Chainlink token is the incentive for nodes to provide accurate data, right? That token is the incentive for basically people to provide accurate information. They get paid in Link, right? So it's a no-brainer, 100%. How do you feel about Atom, Cosmos? I have a big bag of Atom, big bag of Cosmos as well. I have a bag of what's the name? Matic. I have a bag of Matic. I have a bag of Cosmos. Let's go ahead. I have a bag of VeChain. I have a bag of the graph token, Hedera hash graph. I like Ren. I've been looking at Ren a little bit. I like Ren. I have 0x. I sold my basic attention token. Listen, BAT's just not doing it for me. I got rid of BAT. Loop Ring is a great project. I don't own any Loop Ring, but it's a great project. I think I may own a little bit of it. I'm not sure. I have so many different cryptos. Ontology. I have a bag of Ontology, and I'm losing money in Ontology. So Ontology is like, listen, it's just been going sideways. It hasn't been doing anything. What else do I own? And I think that's about it. Oh yeah, and what's the name? Augur. I have a bag of Augur as well. I like Matic. Matic's one of my favorite projects. Thank you for the donation, JS. Hi Elijah, thank you again for all your knowledge. Have you happened to look into UniWeb anymore? And what stock? I can't see that. The next one. Let's pull up the chart. Let's see see what's going on. I have no opinion on UniWeb right now. Let's see something. Trading View. Sorry about that, but let's pull up some charts to see what's going on. So we can see what's going on. Pull up a chart. See what's going on in the world. Everyone keeps asking about AMC. Let's see what's going on. Woo! Oh my God. Look at that. Damn. It went from, my other computer's blocking me. It went from $5. Oh my God. Woo! Man, you guys are killing the shorts. Oh my God. Wow. Just from like looking at the chart and seeing previous behavior in this particular stock, look at this. It ran right up to previous resistance and previous support. And again, you know me, I'm not big on technical analysis, but it works because people believe it works. It's not something I don't make investment decisions based upon technical analysis. There has to be a fundamental reason why you want to be involved in something. But at this point, it's a momentum asset. So let's look at a daily chart, because the weekly is definitely telling you like, man, listen, this thing has room to run, especially if you have like a lot of people behind it. I'll be honest with you. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Right, AMC Holdings. Yes, correct. Night on New York Stock Exchange. Listen, where's it currently trading at right now? 1990. Yeah, this thing can run. Again, not financial advice. Let's pull up the weekly chart. I'm looking at this. If you could break above $20, this thing can run to 36 easily, especially with WallStreetBets behind it. It can run easily. I personally wouldn't touch it with a pump like this. I wouldn't touch it. But if you already are in, take some profit and let the rest run. Move your stops up. If you have stop positions, move your stops to break even wherever you are, especially if you're in the money $4, $5, $6. This thing can run, man. 100% can run. And especially if we get good news with the economy, as far as, you know, the vaccine. And again, you know me, I'm not talking about me taking the vaccine. I'm talking about just good news for the stock market, and we start opening back up. This thing can run. So if you're already in the money, I would say take some profit to hold. Edward Williams Sams posted, thank you for the donation. Can you tell me more about the projects you are going to start using JavaScript, Web3, and Ethereum? I don't go into a little bit more depth with your question. because you already see banks starting to adopt and play around with Ethereum. And then you had Jack Dorsey come out the other day talking about that he's looking for something similar to Bitcoin, where you can have a decentralized mechanism in terms of being able to reach consensus as to how the platform will be governed. Yeah, someone says Corona won't last forever. Movies will eventually open back up. Exactly. That's like one of the bull cases when you look at it, right? A lot of you have been asked by NOK. I'll wait for you to post against him. Well. The goal for Ethereum right now, the best use case I can see is decentralized finance, right? DeFi, self-driving banks, where code is law. So, as I just showed you, I was able to do a swap within a matter of a few minutes, utilizing my MetaMask wallet and Uniswap. And when you start understanding that, you can see that banks are in trouble. You're going to get to a point where literally everyone will be walking around with a bank. I can't find my phone. Like, your phone will be your bank account. So the best use case and utility for the Web3 and for Ethereum and even Polkadot is finance, right? Decentralized finance, it just makes 100% sense to go that route, where you can interact in a permissionless peer-to-peer way. When you think about the potential in terms of like market cap and growth, we're talking about $50 to $100 trillion industry that you're trying to disrupt, fintech. So it's going to be large. Anything you could think of in the finance space, insurance, derivatives trading, margin trading, mortgages, tokenizing assets, bringing real world physical assets onto the blockchain, like with Realty. There's just so much opportunity in that space. So anything finance related is going to be disrupted, and it's going to get to the point where you will have a bank account in your hands. That's the key. So certain things I don't believe will be tokenized and used on the blockchain, but finance, any finance application you can think of, like even look what Square is doing. You know, look how they're dominating the space, and just look at a lot of these legacy banks. They can't compete. They're inefficient. Oh, let's look at NOK. Let's look at NOK. A lot of you have been asking about that, right? Nikolai. I spoke about this before. Wow, that's a nasty chart. Wow. Yeah, guys, be careful, man. Be careful, because at this point, you know that there's a lot of momentum in this, and you know the big boys are playing in this as well, especially with the HFTs and the high frequency trading. So be very, very careful in this. What I would say to you is that if you're in the money, move your stops up. If you plan on holding this for a long time, I don't know why you would want to, but just be careful, man. Yeah, I would. Me personally, I like the AMC. I think AMC personally, and again, this isn't financial advice, I think AMC is a better bet, because AMC has it has a story behind it, right? If the economy opens back up, people are going to the movies, and then you have momentum behind it, a lot of short interest, that would make sense to play in AMC, right? Because the shorts will be forced to have to cover. More good news comes out. They open back up the movie theaters. That makes sense to me. NOK, I wouldn't touch this one personally. Only way I would be playing in this is if you just want to gamble and you're banking on the WallStreetBets crowd is going to pump it higher. But I'm telling you, the regulators are going to come after you. I'm telling you now, they're going to come. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah. Like Gamer says, AMC to me just makes more sense. Like if I had to pick between AMC and NOK, I think the AMC story just makes more sense to me to play in, because you have the momentum, you have the manipulation in terms of the short interest, you have the Wall Street bets crowd pumping it higher, and then now you're going to have people like Shamath and others looking to pump it higher as well. That just makes more sense to me personally. Let's go up a little higher. Thank you for the donation, JB. Hey, you missed my super chat. It's probably passed by now. Do you think ETH hitting its all-time high a few times this month is going back down are just whales trying to clear out the crowd before February 8th. No, I just think it's market trading, guys. Like markets do not go straight up and they don't go straight down. Like they oscillate. What happens is certain retail investors, they hear the story and they see the pop and they buy the top, and then the market corrects and pulls back and they sell the bottom. Smart money or smart retail investor would say, okay, I missed the pop. Let me wait for the pullback, and then I'll buy into the pullback. I dollar cost average into the pullback, so that now in a week or two, when the market's popping back higher, ripping back higher, now you're in from a position of strength. Always buy pullbacks. Never buy breakouts. Me personally, I never buy a breakout. I just don't think it's intelligent investing or trading. I always want to buy pullbacks. That's just the smart thing to do, in my personal opinion. So I don't look at it as market manipulation. I just look at it as that's the way that, you know, markets trade. For example, like you can see this all the time. Like the market will go down, then it retraces, and then it goes down, and then it retraces. And I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see it, because I know some of you are probably watching on a smaller device. You can see like the market goes down, and then it retraces. What happens is that retail will buy here and then end up covering down here, when you should be looking to short up here, right? This is the market retracing, and then the market goes back down, and then it retraces. So it trades like this zigzag fashion, but the most important thing is trade with the trend. Higher highs, higher lows. Lower highs, lower lows if you're shorting the market. Just keep that in mind. I own a lot of silver. I believe that the gold is like, I own silver. This is a 10-ounce bar of silver. This is a 1-ounce American Eagle gold coin. Then I have a whole bunch of silver American Eagles right here. I own a lot of silver. I believe that silver is going to outperform gold once the silver market picks up, just based upon the gold to silver ratio and the fact that silver has more use cases than gold based upon technology, right? It's the fastest conductor of electricity. So I'm a big bull in silver. I own a lot of silver, and I own a lot of, gold coins as well. Speaking of that, let's pull up silver and see what's going on. I haven't looked at silver in a while. Yeah, see, look at this. I love to see this consolidation like this. I love when markets move sideways like this. This is important. I love watching. I love when the market, this is silver versus the dollar. I love this. This is beautiful because this is setting up to go higher. Let's look at GME, right? So, my God. Let's look at a daily chart. Damn. Damn. This is insane, yo. Look at this pump. I mean, this thing can go. We're talking about going all the way back to 20. Let's look at a weekly chart so we can look back like some old price levels. Like, yo, look at this. I guess that's an all-time high, right? Yeah. Yo. Oh my God. Yo. Wow. I haven't even looked at the chart. Wow. Oh my God. Ripping the short's face off. Damn. Woo. Oh man. Listen. At this point, I have no price predictions. I have no price prediction whatsoever. If they're going to take it to $1,000, this stock at this point can go anywhere. I have no predictions whatsoever. Woo, man. This can go anywhere, man. No, I don't believe that Dot's going to reach 1K anytime soon. Polkadot's one of my favorite projects. I could see Polkadot, and for those of you who don't know, Polkadot's a cryptocurrency. I believe it's the fifth largest cryptocurrency right now. It's the fourth. I see both. I easily see Polkadot hitting. This is not even speculating. This is just, I really believe this. Polkadot easily $150. Chainlink easily $100. Easily 200. Matter of fact, no, we'll do 10x. 200 on Link, $150 on Dot. Easy. Like I don't even easily by the end of the year. Not even second guessing. Won't even think twice. That's easy. Easily. Ripple is absolute garbage. Would not touch it. Wouldn't touch it. I have videos covering that already. Wouldn't touch it. Ripple's going to be tied up with this SEC investigation for the next 2 years. No one's really utilizing the technology. Stay away from it. Earl Etney said, yeah, that's a hockey stick. 100%. 100%. Look at Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, pull it up. I believe that's right. BBBY. Are they trying to pump this as well? Yo, I didn't even know they were pumping this one as well. Damn. And look at this. They're pushing it right to these prior support levels. You can see it on a chart. You can see them pumping it right to these prior support levels. I see a pullback happening. You can this is algorithmic trading. Algos are behind this move because you can see how they push it up right here, right to these prior levels. This is algorithmic trading. So I expect the pullback before it goes higher. I think, again, out of all of the charts we looked at today, I prefer AMC. Like if I had to put money into something, I think AMC to me personally is the best bet for me. Right? I personally believe that AMC is the best bet. Out of all of the stocks that we looked at just now, I would rock with AMC because it makes more sense economically and fundamentally on top of the pump that you're getting. BlackBerry's another one that they're pumping too, right? So let's look at this one. This will be the last one we look at. Oh my God. Congratulations to you guys, man. I have to give you guys a pat on the back, man. Congratulations to all of you autists that's making money, man. I can't listen. I can't knock the hustle. These pumps are insane. This has room to run. This has room to run. I'll be looking at $60. This has room to run. I believe that all of these are going to pull back though tomorrow. I believe that all of these individual stocks are going to pull back tomorrow personally. Maybe pull back to like 22 and then rip and run towards the end of the week. This has room to run though. I'll be looking at $60 personally. Because I like to trade off the levels on the Ichimoku cloud. I'll be looking at $55 to $60 if it starts to run more. But man, you guys are making a killing, man. Congratulations. Congratulations, man. I listen. I cannot hate the player. I have to hate the game. So we're going on an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up here. What I will say in closing is this. For decades now, Wall Street have been manipulating the market. They've been engaged in so much criminal activity it's laughable that they are now trying to target the Wall Street Bets community as somehow manipulating the stock or doing something unethical or illegal. They're just doing what Wall Street and institutional investors have been doing to the retail investor for forever. So it's beautiful to watch it. And when you watch the financial media somehow get behind this, you know, it just goes to show you that these people, they don't really respect you. And I'm glad that they're finally paying, for lack of a better word. They're getting what they deserve. I have absolutely no problem with what's going on. They had a 140% short interest in a particular stock, and now it's being used against them. And Melvin Capital and Citron Research, they're being forced to have to cover, and that's a beautiful thing. As I said to you before, this right here highlights the need for decentralization, because now you have exchanges, you know, colluding with, you know, the financial media and talking about halting a particular trading and what's the name? They halted trading in GME, AMC, etc. And I just think that is laughable. This is why you need decentralized exchanges, and this is why you need, you know, to get rid of centralization. 100%. It's right here in your face at this point. Now, for those of you that's interested in learning about crypto blockchain technology, I have my Tech Academy. A link will be in the description below. We currently have a free trial going on, so you can learn about the powers of crypto and blockchain technology. Because as I say time and time again, this is bigger than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just one aspect. We're witnessing centralization fail. We're watching people try to censor you, remove you, ban you, halt you so that you can't get your money in and out. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. I'll read these last two donations. That's some gangster yeah, 100% Earl Etney. Thank you for the donation. And a Builder Bonker. Gonna watch the Chamath interview after this. Watch him cook CNBC. Yeah, I covered that interview earlier. Right here. We went over it briefly. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I'm getting tired, guys. My mouth's getting dry. Sorry about that. So please do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all. Make sure that you join my mailing list. A link is in the description below so that you could be notified. Please follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM if you want to dialogue. And if you're interested in learning about blockchain technology, learning about coding, etc., we have my Tech Academy, a free 7-day trial. We also do have lifetime memberships, and the link is in the description below. Congratulations to all of you who are able to capitalize on this short squeeze. Congratulations. Have a good night.